Hi, I'm Sabrina Scriven.
I'm Riley Lidsky.
And welcome to Game Theory. The name of today's episode is Memory Invaders. So, now, what is a memory?
A memory is a recollection of something that happened in the past or past knowledge.
You know, I've always wondered, what our brain does to do it. I always imagine it as, a little filing system, but, how do you imagine, your memory
working?
Imagine
it as, a conveyor system, you know? It goes from, sensory memory, stuff you pick up, to short-term or working memory, to, the stuff you kind of review or you see as important, and then to long-term memory, which is the stuff that you review over and over again.
So, what are the three types of memory? Again, to remind the people.
Alright, the three types of memory are your sensory memory, the stuff your brain, noises or things you see. The second type is working or short-term memory, which lasts 20 seconds, and it's stuff that your brain sees as important and has to stay for a few seconds. And lastly, long-term memory is stuff you review over and over again, and it's built up over time.
So yeah, I get it. I'm picking up what you're saying now. You know, I wasn't picking it up Monday, but today we're eating it up.
The power of reviewing.
Whoa.
Long-term memory.
Whoa, look at that.
Wow,
so there's five different. Yeah, five. I can count, guys. 5 different types of memory. First we have explicit long-term. It's basically the stuff that can be consciously remembered. I don't know, but something that can be consciously remembered, okay? Number 2 is implicit memory. These are things that don't have a conscious ever remembering. So imagine riding your little bike. I haven't rode one in 2 years. Yikes. But you get that done.
Yeah,
and you have
the spelling of something would be something you consciously remember.
I don't consciously remember.
Clearly.
That's not nice.
I'm sorry.
Next we have flashbulb memories, which is long lasting with high levels of emotion. For a lot of people that were born before 2001, it's 9/11, and then I want to say a flashbulb memory for our generation is COVID. Because I remember coming to school, they're oh, we're going to be out for a couple weeks turned into a couple months turned into you're actually excused for the entire school year. 5th grade, I needed that. So I can take them I didn't even take them science EOG. I'm going to be completely frank with you.
They didn't count none of our grades. We were allowed to pass
right.
Anyway. So I never did.
Some of these kids needed to go through 5th grade though.
We needed that transition from 5th to 6th grade.
Yeah.
And it was like letting a bunch of sea turtles into the sea, but they've lived on land their whole life and they don't know how to freaking swim.
Alright. Next. Shower gang. We have episodic memory. Those are the ones that you can recall through experiences. So basically, if you ask me, oh, how was Red Lobster? Then I can tell you from the experiences of me being the Red Lobster, oh, that stuff is booty. Or, yeah, go. And then next we have perspective memory, which is tasks, a little checklist that's in your brain. First mom told me to wash the dishes. Then she told me to vacuum. Then she told me to clean my room. Then she told me to stay in my room. Stuff like that. So, what else can we elaborate on?
How to better remember things. And so we've touched on how if you repeat something and review something over and over, the short term can become long term. But also if you have more specific terms that you use to remember the memory, then it's easier to recall it. The word bias, you can do things you like or don't like, and that's how you better remember the word bias.
Next we have the 7 sins of memory. These are things that prevent you from remembering things correctly or at all. So take it away, Mel.
Okay, so first 7 sins of memory is transcendence, which is the idea that your long-term memory will degrade over time.
Use it or lose it.
If you don't use it or lose it. If you don't remember that crap, it's going away. If you don't remember that stuff, then it's gonna go away. Okay, the second one is absent-mindedness, which is lapses in your attention will cause you to forget. So if you're focusing on something, but a noise behind you comes up, you're gonna forget what you're focusing on and turn to the noise. And it can help you. It helps to make you lose your train of thought. The third one is blocking, which is interference will cause memories to not be retrieved. So it's the equivalent of like a memory trying to get through a tunnel, but at the end of the tunnel there's a grate or a brick wall, and it won't be able to get through that. It's gonna meet it like this. To all the audio listeners, I just slammed my fist against my palm.
Get a load of this guy. Get a
It's a
load.
podcast. I thought I would help him feel it.
Hey, help them out.
Okay. The fourth one is misattribution, where memory is associated with like a wrong place, time, or person. So, like, let's say someone remembers 9/11 as being in August instead of September. That would be misattribution. To call back on the 9/11 thing we did earlier. Okay, the fifth one, suggestibility. The distortion of memory because of a suggestion. So lawyers will use this tactic all the time, where they'll say like, "Oh, didn't you see that car speeding?" And they're like,
Try again.
"Okay, yeah, I feel like we should keep this professional and should not play with our goldfish that we're eating on camera for an assignment." What about the future Cavaliers that are gonna watch this and they're like, "Oh, this person passed," and they're playing with their freaking food like a toddler?
Hey,
That's what I thought.
I passed. That's what you gotta worry about.
Imagine you didn't and we look back on the like, oh. Okay, anyway. Okay, we go back to suggestibility. Lawyers will use this tactic and say, "Didn't you see that car speeding?" And the person who saw the incident, when the car was actually going like 5 miles, they'll imagine the car going like 20. Because they were like, "Oh, the car was speeding, obviously."
Well, in this instance, they'll use like horrible words that like have a negative connotation, like crash, or like didn't you hear a big boom, or like something that would like definitely be in the situation if it were to happen, but you knew what you saw. But it helps. It doesn't help when a lot of people are suggesting things that didn't happen, so your brain's gonna get confused and be like, "Oh yeah," and try to fill in the blank.
Yeah, this is also known as like the misattribution, misinformation effect, which will display misleading information to distort one's memory and make him think they saw something or heard something when they really didn't. The bias is when ideas will influence your memory. So if you don't like something, then your brain's gonna make that memory have like a negative connotation. It's gonna influence it.
So like,
continue.
oh my bad. I hate pepperoni pizza. If pepperoni's on my pizza, I'm gonna like. So if I like get a load of this guy.
He doesn't like pepperoni.
Yeah, I don't like pepperoni pizzas. I can't stand it.
Of
But
course you said
get a load of this guy.
Yeah, what
We
is
keep saying
this
get a load of this
guy?
guy. We should have a get a load of this guy count.
Is your
Anyway.
antenna making you say that?
So yeah, I hate pepperoni pizza. So anything that like reminds me of it, I'm gonna be like, oh no, I don't want to eat that because I have a hate. It's not a strong word in this. It's a hate. It's not a dislike or nothing. I don't like pepperoni pizza. So in this instance, it'll be like, yeah.
Or if like you think a movie's bad, you'll avoid watching it because your memory associates it with being bad the first time you watched it. And lastly, but not leastly, your persistence.
Lastly, but not least.
Your persistence, which is where unwanted memories will continue to come up, instead of being put out of our minds when we want them to. So like a trauma or something will continue to be flashed back to, and you can't get it out of your mind. Or like, if you watch a horror movie before you go to sleep and you close your eyes, your brain will keep replaying the memories of like things that happened in the horror movie when you're trying to sleep, and you can't put them out of your mind.
Like me and my sister are watching Coraline, and we have a little door like Coraline did, and literally it's dark at night, and then all of a sudden like end the movie, we're scared of that rating, that PG rating. Not true.
You
That
got
should be
scared about
rated
Coraline?
R right
I
there.
loved that movie, bro.
Okay.
It was the best.
We watched it, and then, bro, it's suddenly dark in there. The door is kind of giving like luminous, like the other mother's coming after us, bro. So we had to like turn on the one or something to like before we went to bed, because that movie scares me to this day. Not should be rated PG. Those they don't know what they was rated. That was horrible.
I mean, yeah, the scene where the two women like are doing their little circus act in the other world, my grandma made me turn that off because she was like, "That is not appropriate." Oh my god! Or what is this rated? And I had to click out of it and showed her it was PG. And she was like, "Oh my god,
That is not
good
rated
heavens!"
PG. Good
And she
heavens.
proceeded to like pray. I was like, "Grandma, what the
Yes.
frick are you doing? Grandma,
Yes.
please, it's just Coraline."
But yeah, memory is a strong part of our lives, and we should definitely like think about what we think about what
Deep breaths.
think about what goes into our memory and how hard our brain has to work with everything we do. And this is why, guys, we should take notes instead of just trying to lock in on what the teacher says, because we're not going to remember that. I know I'm not gonna remember that. So make sure you guys take out notes because notes are important. But it does not have to be sneaky Cornell.
And practice, bro. If
Yeah,
you,
repetition
take
and practice.
those notes and you don't look back at them before
They're
that
not
test,
doing anything.
you are not going to pass that test with just your muscle memory alone.
Cause yeah,
That flash in your brain where you wrote one word, yeah, that's not going to help you for your 80 question test.
yeah. But like I said, gang, don't let dumb little Cornell notes discourage you from taking notes. You can take your own notes depending on the teacher, and do what you need to do to study. But these are just extra ways to do it. But hey, that's just a theory. Wait, I forgot the rest. Thanks for watching.